up, gamers? This is NGG here with the end of the year for the 35th anniversary, and now we are going into the 36th anniversary, which is not as special on the Final Fantasy franchise, but this will probably serve to let you guys know where I am on my Final Fantasy journey that I've started since the last video. So since the last video, my 35th anniversary collection, I have now gone on a journey. My goal is to beat all my Final Fantasy games and get caught up. So I am now actively working towards that goal, guys. So that's why you see it so much on my channel, because I don't want to be one of those fake fans. I played these games when I was a child, and the old Pixel Remastered and some of the ones on the PlayStation 2, but I want to play them all, and so that is my journey that I'm going through. So you will see more Final Fantasy videos until that journey is complete. So we are going to do another collection style video. Since I've been beating my games, I can give you a little bit of a different point of view than I did with the previous collection. But if you want to watch that collection, I'll link it up on the top and look out for it. But so let's get started on this year's anniversary collection. So the first game is we started with was Final Fantasy, the original game. Now, I thought I beat this game a long time ago, and I have since beat it, but once I got to Chaos, I was like, I definitely did not beat that game when I was a child, because I don't remember beating Chaos. I don't remember the hardship that I faced this time, and mind you guys, I played it on a way easier version. I did not experience, so what I said last time, which is where I thought I beat it the first time, I obviously was misinformed myself. So I've definitely since beat that game, and I also have Final Fantasy beat this one. Now this one is Final Fantasy. I'm trying to beat them in some kind of order. So even though this is on the PlayStation 4, this is what I would say I would play this directly after beating Final Fantasy 1, as it goes hand in hand with Final Fantasy. I would not suggest you beat it before Final Fantasy, even though it's called Origins, because you won't understand it if you haven't played one. So definitely beat this one. Like I originally thought, beat this one first because it's Origin, it's supposed to be 0, and then beat 1, but no, beat this one after you beat 1, and then you will enjoy the story much better, because it definitely goes hand in hand with Final Fantasy 1. This is not a traditional turn-based combat. It is definitely you are definitely fighting in a like Demon Souls kind of way, and I definitely recorded the full gameplay of this one. It is on my channel, and that is my goals, guys. I'm trying to beat every Final Fantasy game on stream, so it won't be exactly a walkthrough, but I will try to be beating it with you guys on stream so that I can experience or re-experience some of these Final Fantasies alongside you guys. So of course I have the Final Fantasy 1 in this collection, but I also have Final Fantasy 2 here, and for a long while this is the only way I had access to 2. I am currently on my Final Fantasy 2 journey, and from what I hear, it's a good thing I'm playing it the way I'm playing it now, because had I experienced it from that, I would have had a hard go at it. It looks like that the mechanics, the way that you gain health, you got to get hit for some reason, and they've changed that in the version I'm playing, and thankfully it's not something I have to, and I think that's why a lot of people hated that version. But since that's not how I experienced it, and I think as of the time of recording, guys, I believe I'm one stream away from beating my Final Fantasy 2 game. I just have to, like, I'm on a tornado spot, but so far I'm enjoying the game. I'm saying don't get attached to any characters in this game is what I will say, because they may or may not be in your party later. Like, your party is constantly changing one member of your team all the time, so I will say just don't get used to having them in your party. I have been playing it with a companion, Now, I wish I would have played my Final Fantasy 1 with this one, but I did play it with the stuff that was in the original box. But I have been playing my my copy with this one, and it has Final Fantasy 1 and 2, and I don't know if you can see that they're started off by color. So all the blue ones are the Final Fantasy 1 pages, and all the pink ones are all the Final Fantasy 2 pages. I am, let's see where I am at. I am on chapter 14 of 17, so that's why I think I'll be beating this game pretty soon, guys. So hopefully that will be a complete game in the collection of my of all my Final Fantasy streams, and then we shall get to this version. Now, I won't be playing the 3DS version, unfortunately, but this is the only other version, and I'll show you my main version that I'm playing now of Final Fantasy III that I had for a long while, and I had never played it, and thankfully this is probably not going to be the way I experience it. Tell me though if it's probably better than the way I am experiencing, and I'll let you know in a second how I'm experiencing it. But if this is a better version, maybe I'll come back to playing it on my own on this side. But right now, I gotta finish 2, and then I will be getting to number 3, and I am looking for a strategy guide for number 3, as it's the only one of the original 6, which I like. The original 6 is what I call generation 1 of Final Fantasies, so it's one of the original 6 that I'm missing. So yeah, the next one I have for you is Final Fantasy IV. I still have yet to play it, so I still can't tell you how this game goes, unfortunately, but I did find the strategy guide for that version that I have there, and I forgot to show it to you guys last time. So this one comes with the both games that are on that one, so it comes with that, and it comes with Final Fantasy for Chrono Trigger, but this is going to be the version that I'm going to be using the copy for. I'm so happy that I have my strategy guides to walk me through these games, guys, because these games are a bit hard, and there's not really a walkthrough that I can see, but I am enjoying using my strategy guides that I've had from way back when. As you can see, I got them when the PlayStation versions came out, so I'm just missing number 3 because number 3 never came to the PlayStation, and I think that's why they never released a 3 copy. They probably have it for the DS, but unfortunately for me, I was hoping they would re-release all the strategy guides as a one compilation, but they never did. It's something to consider. I wish they were still making strategy guides. The next Final Fantasy game I have for you guys is Final Fantasy V. This anthology collection includes number 5 and 6 on the cart, and so that is how I played Final Fantasy VI. One of my many playthroughs of Final Fantasy VI was on the cart, but most of my gameplay was from my original Super Nintendo copy of Final Fantasy III, and oh my god, is this still so far my favorite Final Fantasy? I don't know that it'll be knocked down because this is my original Final Fantasy copy, guys. And with Final Fantasy, I want to tell you a little story of how I got started with Final Fantasy. So this is my original, right? But the original I watched being played was the one that's marked Final Fantasy II. I remember going to visit my aunt at my grandmother's house, and she was playing the original Final Fantasy II, and I remember thinking, oh my god, that looks so good. I was so addicted to just watching her play. When I did go to the store, that's how come I picked up this copy of Final Fantasy III, because I was watching her play and I was like, oh, that looks like so much fun, and I kind of want to get a copy of it myself. So that is how I got into my Final Fantasy franchise and my adventures with Final Fantasy, guys. It was through my aunt who had showed me what Final Fantasy was, because my mom wasn't into role-playing games. She was more platformer action games. So when I went to visit my aunt and she was into role-playing games and playing that one, I was like, oh my god, this looks great. And that is actually how I got started on my Final Fantasy adventure. I couldn't remember for the life of me how I got started, but that is how I got started. And I did forget to show you guys, I also have the Anthology Collection Strategy Guide. So it has the best looking, it has maps, it says, of both worlds. I've not really opened this. I don't know if you can tell that it's kind of pretty still new. Never really been open. But when I get to Final Fantasy V, this is what I'm going to be using. This is the back, guys. It shows you it has both Final Fantasies in it. Obviously Final Fantasy VI is my favorite. I don't know that I'll need the strategy guide for 6, but it's been a while that I haven't played them, so I might, but right now I'm gonna try to play Final Fantasy VI without the strategy guide. But if I need it, I have it as reference, and I'll keep a little like bookmark where I'm going, and that's what I'm doing with Final Fantasy II. Whenever I need to reference back, I like keep going past it in the book, and I'm like, I already did this, and I'm stuck here, and then I find where to go with that book, and that's how I'm passing Final Fantasy II. I'm so happy that I kept the books, guys, because I don't know where I would be without those books in my life. Now, the next game I have for you guys is the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. This literally is how I've been playing all the Final Fantasy games. This has 1 through 6, but it doesn't have the best versions for some reason. They didn't bring like the best versions of each game out. They only bought like the originals, kind of. Well, number 1 was definitely not the original, because when I played through it, the graphics definitely seem better than the NES version that I have. But this is where I beat 1. This is where I'm beating 2. And then hopefully we'll beat 3, 4, and 5, and 6 on this one as well. But like I said, I beat 6 already. But this is how I'll probably be streaming it with you guys, on this version and not the PlayStation version. I doubt that I'll go back to the PlayStation version, even though I'm sure the PlayStation version has the cutscenes and this one doesn't. But I'm sure this has like, it'll have the boosts and stuff like that the PlayStation version doesn't have. Unfortunately, I would play the PlayStation version with you guys, but it's gonna be missing the boost, and I'm gonna want that to just like speed through my gameplay. The next game I have for you guys is Final Fantasy Crisis Core Reunion. Now, this is a remake of Final Fantasy Crisis Core. I got it with the Steelbook, and yeah, I'm super excited about those 2 games. I beat them, and now that I've started back on my Final Fantasy journey, I'm like, crud. Should I record all the videos? When I get to Final Fantasy Crisis Core, we'll see if you guys are still even watching the live streams. And then I might just do them as videos and put them up, because I've already live streamed at least my first playthrough with Crisis Core, so I could just catch up to where I was in that live stream and then attach it to all the rest of the live stream. So even though I live streamed it a long time ago, the video is still up on the channel if anybody wants to watch it, and then I could continue on with the game. So I am now it's gonna probably take me longer to beat Final Fantasies, because I'm doing them as live streams, and I only do those on Fridays. And if there's another active game that comes out on a Friday, then I don't record it that day. So sometimes that slows me down. So we shall see how that goes. We also have, the next one we have for you is Final Fantasy VII. Now, this was originally my ex's copy that he tried to sell, but I snatched it, hit it up, because he gave it to me and then decided he wanted to sell it. This is how I originally experienced Final Fantasy VII, this version. I don't think it was his cart though. I had my mom's version that I played, but that's how I originally experienced Final Fantasy, was through the PlayStation. So I know there are so many versions of Final Fantasy out there now, but literally that's how I experienced it. I'm looking forward to re-experiencing it, because I don't remember the story so well. Like when I was playing Crisis Core, I was kind of familiar, vaguely familiar about what was going on. So it'll be nice to like remember, and that's why I'm really literally doing these walkthrough playthroughs with you guys, is so I can, if it's gonna be my favorite franchise, I kind of want to remember them. And unfortunately, with my old age, I start forgetting certain intricacies about the game that I wish I could talk about with you guys, and I can't, unfortunately, because I don't remember the game so well. So that is how I played Final Fantasy VII, and now we're gonna talk about all this Final Fantasy VII things that came out since. So we're gonna start off. We started off with the games. We're gonna go back to games in a second, but I think Advent Children released a movie right after 7 was really popular, maybe like 2 years later. I gotta rewatch this movie, but to be fair, I'm going to rewatch this movie after I've played Final Fantasy VII, so as not to spoil myself on that experience again. Even though I played it a long time ago, it's been so long, I'm not gonna remember it, guys. So I will watch this movie again after I beat Final Fantasy VII. But I do remember enjoying the movie. I do remember thinking Cloud was a jerk. So there's that. Along with the movies, you got the 2 amiibo that came out for Smash. These are the other like Final Fantasy related things I have. The next thing I have for you is Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus. Now, I don't know how I'm going to record that one for you guys. It's probably gonna be, well, hopefully I have it hooked up to a monitor, my Final Fantasy. Even though PlayStation didn't go fully backwards compatible, hopefully the monitor I have it hooked up to, and it's hooked up to an HDMI port. Hopefully it should be strong enough to carry that signal so I can record it for you. Otherwise, I don't know how I will record footage for this game. I definitely want to play this, guys, for you. I don't know how it's gonna work out because I don't have a way to record old footage on new hardware. So let's hope I figure it out by the time we get to it, because the other ones I can get away with because I have the Switch versions, which you'll see in a little bit. But this one I don't have another version, a way to record this for you. So hopefully I figure it out, and hopefully that won't be a really bad stream. So the way I'm showing you guys is probably the way I'm going to be recording the footage, if that makes sense, like streaming it. So in the order, even though it's not the order it came out, it's kind of in the order that I'm going to play it, right? And so the next game I have for you guys is Final Fantasy Remake. I definitely got my own copy. Like a lot of these games, after I streamed that other collections video, I don't know what I picked up and what I had already. So I believe I picked this one up afterwards because I didn't own my own copy. I don't remember paying more than $20 for it, to be fair. I think it was under. It'll be in a pickups video if you guys want to watch those pickup video and figure out when I got it. But I know after last year's video, I was like, dang, I was missing so many, and I definitely filled it back up. So I will be playing though this version of Final Fantasy, the 7, before playing the remake. With that, and then we'll come back to that version for 8. But for right now, the Final Fantasy VII on the Switch cart is how I'm going to be playing it, and then I'll come back and do the remake. The only reason it was here at the end is because I wanted to show it with 8, and 8 being the next one I had. So I'm probably going to obviously be streaming it on this version right here. But these are also part of my collection. So that is Final Fantasy 1 through 8. So I consider... Let's see, I consider from where we're at now, from 6 to 12, second gen of Final Fantasy, guys. So we are on the going strong on second generation of Final Fantasy. The next Final Fantasy I have for you guys is Final Fantasy IX. Now, this copy is still sealed. I don't know if you guys can see the wrapping. This copy is still sealed, so I've never played this copy. I did play the first home base of it with my ex's copy when we were still together at that time, but I haven't touched it since. I am going to be playing it on this Switch copy, guys. So this is how I will be playing Final Fantasy IX, but I got a ways to go before I get to this one, so I don't know if I play it this year or I play it next year, but I am taking you guys along with me on my Final Fantasy journey. The next one I have for you is Final Fantasy X. I was so close to beating this game, guys. So stinking close to beating this version. I was at the final boss's lair. when I put it down. And I don't know why I did that, because I'm so mad. Because when I finally beat the game on the Switch, and I'll show you the copy I have, I was like, dang nabbits, I was right there. I was so close to beating the game. I never did. I wonder if I just got to the boss and just couldn't take him down is why I didn't beat it. It could be the case. I have no idea why I never beat the boss. Okay, and with the Final Fantasy X game, I also have this strategy guide kind of thing that came out on the PlayStation way back when. It's like the Game Informer of the day. I don't know actually what page it's on. There it is. I think it talks about the game and stuff like that in here. So yeah, I have this for Final Fantasy X. I also have the official strategy guide for Final Fantasy X. So when I play again, I'm gonna probably be playing it on New Game Plus. I never found that I needed this, but it's always nice to look at the pictures. I believe there's a poster in there of some sort. I've never opened it to find out what poster is in here, but it does say it has some stuff in here. And this is what the back looks like. So there's that for Final Fantasy X. The next version I have for you is Final Fantasy X2. Now, I've tried to beat this more than one time and have yet to be able to get through it. I am going to drudge through it when it comes down to playing it with you guys on stream. You're gonna see why I hate this. I hate the dress spheres. I wish the gameplay was just like X, because the gameplay sucks so much, and I wanted to like the new characters and wanted to like the girl power story, but they made it too like dress sphere heavy, and I was not down with that. But we are going to play it on this new version here. I've played and beat X on this one. I might restream it for you. Hopefully there's a New Game Plus so I can just breeze through the story with the stuff I already have and not have to get anything other than the ones that are story based, eons and stuff like that. But that's how we are going to play it, X and X2, from that copy right there. And for Final Fantasy X-2, we also have a strategy guide. Now this one, I don't know if you guys can see it, I have it bookmarked. This is bookmarked from when I was playing it on the PlayStation. I'll probably be using this exclusively when streaming it for you guys, because I get so lost in the sauce, like what to do, what stress spheres to use. So I probably will be using this one when it comes down to playing it on the Switch copy, but I also have that. I did gloss over one, and that was Final Fantasy 11, which is on the Xbox 360. I never had played it. Servers are going down, so I'll probably never play it. Plus, I believe the servers for the Final Fantasy were already down because they have 14 going on. The next game I want to talk about is Final Fantasy 12. Now, this is for the originally I bought for the PlayStation 2. I never played this game. It's definitely going to be one of the games that I touch upon, but unfortunately, this copy will not be the one that is touched, as I do have this version on another copy. I have it on the Switch, so this will be the version I play, and I'm looking forward to getting to it. I'm so happy that it's on the Switch and I can play the better edition. And I also have it on the 3DS, but I played this one a little bit and from way back when, and I feel like this is a continuation story of that one. If you know, let me know, because I believe it's a continuation story. I'm not exactly sure, but it felt like the characters in this were already developed. But I also didn't play the original 12, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. I also have the strategy guide for Final Fantasy 12. This thing is a chunky beast. I don't know if you guys can see. It has all of this in the back in it, and I think there's a poster of some sort in the back page. Something in the back. I'm not opening it. I'm not pulling it out. But I've had this. I've never played this game. That's why it looks completely brand new. Only like the edges are messed up from handling it. But yeah, I will eventually crack this baby open once I get down to those books. The next game I have for you is Final Fantasy XIII. It's a series of games, so I have that one. I have this one. And I have this one. This is the only sealed one I have, which is Lightning Return. I'm thinking about popping the other two at least into my console, seeing if there's any digital download update that I need to do. So just in case when the server shut down for the Xbox, at least those copies are up to date, because that is probably where I'm going to be streaming it from the Xbox. I don't think I'll probably shoot it onto the Xbox One. If for some reason I can't play it on my original Xbox, maybe I'll borrow my son's to stream it from there. I don't know how the camera functionality will work. It'll probably be like the PlayStation. I won't have a face cam, I guess, for the stream. So we shall see how that works. But so those are 13. I also got me a copy of 14. That I don't know if you guys can hear it. The game is loose. Because I now want to play all the Final Fantasies. I might touch 14 sooner than later because it's a MMO. So I might mix it in with my other gameplay. Maybe I'll record a couple of episodes, so like in between Final Fantasies I can put up an episode if there's an event, or for some reason I can't make a recording, because I've been now recording videos twice a week. So hopefully we'll have something available for that. We also picked up well, we had, and this is a sealed copy, guys, a copy of Final Fantasy 15 on the Xbox One. Again, the Xbox One is not my console, so and this also has extra DLC added. This one looks like a holographic version, but I did pick up Final Fantasy 15 for the PlayStation, which is where I can play it. And this has all the DLC, minus I think there's one missing. So it has all the DLC, and I will be streaming that when I get up to it, but gosh knows when I'm gonna get up to it. So those were all the mainline ones I have so far. There is one still out that I didn't pick up, which was Final Fantasy 16. But they said there wasn't going to be any DLC, and now there's DLC. So I'm hoping they did like what they did with Final Fantasy 15 Royal, which is put all the DLC on a disc and resell it. And that is probably how I will buy it. So I'm going to wait a little bit for 16 to have gone down in price, and also for whatever DLCs they're going to put on the cart. Because they did say it was going to be complete in package when it was delivered, and they lied. So those were all my main line. Now let's get into all my side ones. Okay, the next games I want to talk to you remind me of mainline Final Fantasy, but there is this Final Fantasy Type 0, and now I played a little bit of this and I wasn't happy with the school environment, but I can no longer play this version because it's on the Xbox One. So I did go and pick up at a secondhand shop the PlayStation version, so I will be able to now play this version when it's time to stream. And I also got this fighting game. I don't know, I know it's up to at least 13 or 14, maybe not 15 and 16, but definitely picked up the Cydia NG. And so when I finish the mainline ones, I'll probably start shooting off to these ones first before I get into another series. Okay, the next series I want to talk to you guys about is a spin-off series. And when the Final Fantasy left the Nintendo franchises, it definitely brought over a kind of Final Fantasy. It's like Final Fantasy Light, I want to call it. And this was kind of more like the Final Fantasy multiplayer versions of their games. And so we start off with Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Now, I played it a long time ago and I don't remember it at all, to be fair. I don't remember playing this with anybody. Not anybody in my household are Final Fantasy fans, so doubtful that I'll have somebody to play this with. But I definitely played the Switch version. I bought a digital copy and it was so bad. I think I want to still power through it. I was playing that one with Minako and Mars. I don't know if they're going to want to power through it with me, and if a complication comes around, then we play another game. But we were playing that on the Switch live, guys, live, and I had to cancel out of a board that we already did, and it just didn't want to let me open a new room. It timed me out, kind of thing. So dumb the way they have their system made up. So I've only played a couple of rounds in that Crystal Chronicles series. Like I said, I eventually want to finish playing it, so we will eventually finish playing it. The next game I have for you is the second part of the Crystal Chronicles, is Rings of Fate, and that was on the DS. I think I told you guys last time that I played this with my friend who used to come over and play with me. I think what I'm gonna do is, after I finish the mainline Final Fantasies, I'm gonna come to these Crystal Chronicle series and replay these as well. These are not gonna be like focus though, right? I'm gonna be focusing on mainline title. I am playing off some of the spin-offs, but when I'm fully finished from 1 to 16, if I get that far, I will come to these spin-off titles. I do have a book that goes with the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. It's a Nintendo Power magazine. Actually, it's the only one I think I own. I didn't own any other Nintendo Power magazines. I don't think I've ever opened this in years. I'm trying to see where it would be. I don't know if there's a strategy guide in here of this game of some kind. There's a strategy game for something in here, but that's not it. I don't know what they're talking about, but it is the cover photo in the Nintendo Power magazine. The next game in the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles series is Echoes of Time. I'm sorry if the light is a little bright for you guys to see. I'm going to pull it off to the side and you guys can see it. So I don't remember playing that one at all, really. I mean, I'm pretty sure I played it. I just don't remember it. And like I said, I'm going to just come back to all of these. I probably will do videos of these retro games eventually when I stop playing my Switch games. But these are going to be included in my daily trying to get to beat all my Final Fantasies. The last one I have in the Crystal Chronicles is the Crystal Bears, and I did try this one for a little bit. I don't remember it very much, so I'm going to start it over as well. But this is the last one. I think I'm only missing one of the Crystal Chronicles series, and I think it was a Japanese exclusive only game, which is why I don't have it. So those are all the Crystal Chronicle games that we have for you. Now let's get into another series that they made for the Nintendo, and that is the Theatrhythm series. And this was the first one of the Theatrhythm series. I believe I told you guys my sister bought this for me. Unfortunately, I never played it. I think I might play it a little bit because I am gonna eventually open the other copy that I'll show you, but I think I might dedicate some time to this one. Maybe not specifically this one. It might be this little guy here, which is Curtain Call, which is the same game that I just showed you with all the DLC added to it. Or I might just stream this version for you guys. I know I didn't have this last year, and I finally got it finally came to the Switch. It has a bunch of DLC for other games, but because I haven't opened it or played it, I bet you anything they come out with a bigger compilation with all the games, all the songs included. For right now, I'm only interested in the Final Fantasy ones. They have the Saga games. They're also doing the Octopath, and I think they even added Final Fantasy 16 to this one, if I'm not mistaken. The next game I want to talk to you guys about is Final Fantasy Tactics. Now, I did tell you guys that I had played this before, and I wasn't into tactic games, but after we spoke the last video, I did find a strategy guide for it. So I do have my strategy guide, so I probably will now be using this. Even though I know how to play tactical games now, strategy games for the most part, I didn't back then when they first came out. But now that I have that, I'll be able to follow a guide along. I really need to I want to pick up guides for the ones I'm missing, like 3. I'm missing all the ones for 13, all the versions of 13. And Obviously, I don't have the one for 7, so I just want to pick up all the guides. So those are the ones I'm missing. But I also got this one here, which I believe is Tactics 2. I think that's why it's called A2. But I played this a little bit. I don't remember it, but definitely gonna play it after I play Tactics. And I kind of want to find a way of how to record gameplay footage. I don't think I will be able to stream these DS games. They might be too long to stream, but just have little videos up about the major plot points or sped through might be a nice ideal way to play those Final Fantasy games. So I also have another one. This one I am actually currently replaying. I'm playing this one with Minako online before the servers closed down, and I restarted my file because I didn't remember what I was doing. And this is definitely Monster Hunter Light for you guys. With the Final Fantasy skin on it, you get to catch the espers and use them as summons. Kind of, it's super hard to learn the ins and outs with this. We're still learning. We're on our 4-star stages now. I think they go up to 7 stars, and you get a bunch of missions in each level. So we finished all the 1, 2s, and 3s. Now we're working on the 4 stars, and I guess we got to get all the way up to 7s. But we're having a great old time with this one. Each mission takes about 15-20 minutes if you're good. If they're pretty hard, which they're getting harder, they might take up to like half an hour, 40 minutes. We did end up playing this one with a random at one point, which was nice that people are still playing this game. But they were much higher than us. So that's another spin-off title. Another spin-off title I have for you guys is the World of Maxima. Now, I did not play this version. I do have, obviously I have it, but I did not play this version on the PlayStation 4. When I first talked about it, guys, I don't think I even owned the PlayStation 4 at that point. Or when I got it, I didn't own the PlayStation 4. It was my ex's PlayStation 4 at the time. But I did play this version here on the Switch. I don't know that I want to stream this. Since it's a spin-off title, I don't think I will. I did not have fun with it, but I think that's because I hadn't played all the other Final Fantasies and knew any of the other characters that we were running into. And I think that's very pivotal in this game, to know the characters. Like, it's not one of those games you want to play and you're like, oh, I can play without knowing any of the other stories. No, I really had no affinity to the characters we were finding. And I'm like, now that I think back, it harkened back to like little pieces of the old games. But don't play those if you've never played any other franchises, or not enough of them, because I had played a few here and there, and I did sprinkle get in some people that I knew, but not enough to like care about the series. So the next series of games we're going to is the Chocobo games, and right now the first one we have for you is Chocobo's Dungeon, Final Fantasy Fables Chocobo's Dungeon. Now, I tried playing this a long time ago. This is and so you know how we just did Monster Hunter version of Final Fantasy? This is Final Fantasy's version of a dungeon crawler. I don't know how to play dungeon crawler, so I probably will be lost in the sauce when it comes to this game. But we will give it a try, but not on that version. We will try it on this version right here, which is Chocobo's Everybody, and this is that same game put on the Switch and updated and all that stuff. So this will probably be the version I play, and I'll be able to stream it if I want to. I don't know if dungeon crawlers are something I want to stream because I've never played them. Maybe the first one I will stream. We'll see how the series goes as a whole on my channel. The other Final Fantasy thing I have with Chocobos is Chocobo's GP, and this is their racing game. I admittedly haven't opened it. It was free to play, but I think if you bought the physical, you didn't have all those microtransactions, and a lot of the stuff was on the cart already for you. So I do want to play this one. I hear it's hard though, but I still want to play it. The last Chocobo game I have for you is this little Chocobo. I don't have even the case for it. It's called Chocobo Tales. I have no idea what this is about. I know I saw it one day and I was like, oh, that's Final Fantasy. I don't have that. Let me get on that. So I definitely picked that up. And so that's another like Final Fantasy thing I got. Another spin-off. Now the last couple of things, guys, are gonna be things that are not actual Final Fantasy games but have the Final Fantasy logo on it, kind of like how they did with Final Fantasy III, which was, well, no, Final Fantasy III is a poor example, where they gave it the Western treatment, name it Final Fantasy, but it's not really a Final Fantasy game. And the first one we're gonna go with is Final Fantasy, the Four Heroes of Light. And now this, I believe, and I don't think I'm wrong, is part 1 of Bravely Default. So like, it's Bravely Default, and second layer Bravely Default 2. So this is like Bravely Default 0, basically. Is from what I hear, this is where it came from. Then look, if you look at the characters, they kind of look like how they looked in the Bravely Default game. So I believe that is Bravely Default 0. And then this is, I know this says Collections of Mana, but if you look at the back, and I'll have a zoomed in picture of this, it says Final Fantasy Adventure, and that's literally Seiken Densetsu 1. I can't pronounce the Eastern name for it, but it's Secret of Mana 1, or whatever Mana 1. They renamed it Sword of Mana on the Game Boy Advance, so that's not really a Final Fantasy game. Along with Kingdom Hearts, and I'm not bringing up the other specific Kingdom Hearts ones I have, but this is the whole Kingdom Hearts collection, and you will find a lot of your Final Fantasy characters hanging around here in this story. This is not a Final Fantasy game, but they are in this story. So if you want more of your Final Fantasy characters, I believe definitely 1 and 2 definitely have them. I don't know if they're sprinkled in on the other games, but for sure 1 and 2 of Kingdom Hearts have them. And then your Legend of Mana, the Final Fantasy Legends games, and these are Romancing Sagas 1, 2, and 3 for the Game Boy. And now those I bought used. I thought they were Final Fantasy games at the time when I bought them, so they definitely caught me and suckered me in. But right now I know they're Romancing Saga 1, 2, and 3. And to be fair, I'm collecting the Romancing Saga series now, so it's nice that I have them, because I still don't think they released a physical compilation in English. I think it's digital. So those were all my Final Fantasy. Oh, wait, we got one more for you. We got one more. We got the movie. Let's not forget the movie. We showed it last time. We almost forgot it this time. The Spirits Within. I am probably going to rewatch this, because there's no need to not rewatch this, because it's not linked to any Final Fantasy. So I'll probably try to watch it sometime this year. Not a priority on my list, of course, but eventually I'll watch it sometime this year, and I'll let you know next year what I think about it. Hopefully by next year I've at least finished 2 or 3 more Final Fantasies for you guys. I'm hoping to at least be by 6 by next year. Goals. If I can be higher, that would be great. I am definitely working on at least Final Fantasy Explorers as well, so I'll let you have a review for that one. I won't have footage because there's no way to record it, but definitely working on that game as well. So thank you guys for enjoying and this collections video of all my Final Fantasy games. As you can tell, I'm super into the Final Fantasy franchise, and I want to talk about it with you guys, and I always want to talk about it with you guys. Well, let me know some of the games you are beating. Are you guys working on any specific franchise for your gaming collection that you kind of love the franchise but you haven't beat all those games? That's what Final Fantasy is for me, and that's why my goal is to beat these games. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy gaming. Bye.